Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. It's currently Monday. I'm tweaking my own personal schedule for the week, which won't impact you that much, except for one thing, the Sunday streams, which I'll get to. But lately, what I've been doing Monday through Thursdays, I have 2 admin days, 2 filming days, and that's been working out great, but I'm just swapping it where instead of Monday starting off with an admin day, it's starting off with filming. And so I'm a little bit behind because by switching the schedule, I had to catch up on some work because usually I would be editing the Tuesday vlog today. And so I did have to finish editing the Tuesday vlog this morning. So we started off with a little bit of editing, which is not supposed to be part of today's tasks. But like I said, I got to catch up to get onto the new schedule. And it was just part of me like tweaking things because I want to try working more of a standard 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. Is it gonna work? I don't know. I go through phases where I'm like, I need more normal working hours. And then I go through phases where I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna keep working late every night. And it's been kind of bad lately where I've been working right up until Big Brother airs at 9 p.m. And I'm like, this needs to stop. And I want to get back my weekends because I typically do the Sunday live stream day. And I want the Sunday back. So much of the house stuff gets neglected, like even just the weekly cleaning does not happen weekly. And there's always like house maintenance stuff, things to do, and I want to do more like decorating in the house and stuff. And so I want my weekends. So yeah, Sundays I do a non-gaming stream, so it could be order packing, could be creating artwork, could be doing shop prep, and I'm still gonna do that stream. It's just gonna be shorter and at a random time during the week. It might not happen every week, but I'm going to try my best. And so those could fall any day of the week, really. They're more likely to happen on a day I'm not filming a vlog, but today, a Monday, it's my best order packing day because I get most of my orders on the weekend. So if I want to do an order packing stream, Monday's kind of the best for that. So I think I will be doing one today while I pack orders. And then the 9 to 5 thing mainly applies to editing, shop prep, admin. All of that has to fall in the 9 to 5, but I could still do art, for example, in the evenings and on the weekends. I'm not gonna like stop myself from creating art, but just more of like the typical work stuff has to be 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Oh, and the stream that can happen any day of the week. It could even happen on a Friday, which is typically game stream day. Like just a couple Fridays ago, I started off with cutting transfers, the DTF transfers on stream, and then I got to the gaming later. You might see some more of that. Now on that day I didn't stream it to YouTube, but I would stream that beginning portion to YouTube if I do it again. So downside is you're not really gonna know when the streams are happening. They're just gonna be surprise streams. But on the plus side, it's more randomized times and randomized days, because if someone's always busy on a Sunday, they could never tune in. So I guess there's that. And then, of course, during big shop updates, I'm not sticking to 9 to 5. Like, I'm going to have to put in extra hours on big shop updates. But, you know, there are a few exceptions like that. Oh, also, another exception would be, like, I do Tuesday night game streams just for 3 hours from 7 to 10. And that's obviously outside of the 9 to 5. But that's just gaming, so I feel like that doesn't count. You know, it's fine. I would probably be playing games that evening anyway if I wasn't streaming. I've also been waking up slightly earlier, just half an hour earlier than usual, 7 o'clock instead of 7:30, but I'm also trying to get out of bed earlier to save me some time to start the day quicker, because usually I'm in bed for like an hour 15 minutes before I get up. But you know, if I'm stopping at 5, I gotta make sure I'm starting my day at a decent time. And I've been going for my morning walks lately, so I need to get that in before 9 o'clock as well. So yeah. And then when I say 9 to 5, some days it's gonna be more like 5:45, because if Christian's cooking supper, I'm just gonna keep working until supper's ready. And if I'm the one cooking supper, then I'll be stopping at 5 to go cook. But it's roughly a 9 to 5, okay? We're trialing it. We'll see how long I stick to it. Oh, also, like, filming does not count as part of the 9 to 5. Like, I can still film what I'm doing in the evenings, or if I'm doing something exciting on the weekend, I can still film it. So that's not a restriction. It's always been so hard for me to separate work and life because, one, I do it all from home, but also a lot of it's very creative, and that's the stuff I would be doing as my hobbies anyway. And so the line is so blurred. But that's why I'm limiting it to like, okay, when I say I can't work evenings and weekends, it's like the admin, the editing, packing orders, and shop prep in general, because that is the stuff that is a little more worky. but I like the shop prep stuff and order packing a lot, so that'll be the hardest to stay away from. And that's why stuff like the artwork or the gaming stuff's allowed outside of those hours, because that's just stuff I would do as my hobby anyway. And then the filming, I guess you could say is work, but I'm just documenting what I'm doing. So it's like, if it's something I want to film, just film it. And then that's extra content for the vlog. And now my plan for the rest of today, pack those orders and also work on the gazebo cats art. I'm gonna get the orders done first because the mail pickup can happen anytime after 4 o'clock. So let's just get that out of the way, do the little live stream, and then I can just color for the rest of the day. So we have this much embroidery done at the moment, and I was having a little bit of an influx of orders on the weekend, and so I want to check those too for any that don't have made to order stuff in it. I can get those packed right away. And let me look at the calendar. I gotta figure out when I'm shutting off for the US shipping. Oh, you know, just like 80% of my orders go to the US, so turning this off is gonna be great. Maybe I'll turn it off Thursday morning because I have a Thursday pickup, and then the 29th of August, which is the deadline, like when the new tariffs kick in, that's the following Friday. So that'll give just over a week for those packages to cross the border. But like, I'm so unsure because this flat fee thing is supposed to be in effect for 6 months. And the only way it wouldn't last 6 months is if somehow they decide to change the rules, or if USPS starts actually calculating the tariff instead of using the flat rate before the 6 months is up. Because I can't turn off US shipping for 6 months. I can't. Like, if that's the case, I might have to start doing UPS, which I said I would never use them again. But if I can get the duties to show at checkout, and if there's going to be no additional fees charged on top of that, then at least people could see the fees in advance and decide if they're going to go through with the order. Because I usually ship Canada Post because they're the cheapest, but they don't do DDP, which is paying the duties in advance before the package is sent out. I can't do that with Canada Post. There's no option to have the tariffs at checkout, but I could with UPS. But I'm scared they're going to hound people for additional fees after. Plus their brokerage fees are just nuts. Maybe the fees are a little bit less if you prepay. Like, I'd have to look into it and do some calculations because their brokerage fees were like $80 and up for those packages I sent out a couple months ago, and on top of the tariffs. So, but I would have to use some kind of DDP courier if I'm forced to stick out the full 6 months. I'm just hoping there's a big uproar over this and they change the rules or something, or like maybe some new deal comes through, or maybe they decide to push off the August 29th date because they're constantly pushing back dates for other tariffs. So I'm just like, hopefully this is not a 6-month issue. Maybe some kind of deal's negotiated. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get everything set up for the stream and pack some orders. Got a camera permanently set up over here. Ooh, turn it on and turn on the fan that keeps it cool because that one likes to overheat. And I gotta switch over my settings because we're not using this mic. We're using this one. Oh, I forgot this is still going. This one's a long export compared to usual. But it is also a longer vlog. I'm supposed to keep them around 25 minutes. It's 38 minutes. What the heck? You can't park there. And back to the tariff stuff. I am trying to hold off on this shop update until we hear more about the tariff stuff. And, you know, I'm not ready to launch everything yet. I still have a lot more prep to do anyway. So it might not necessarily be pushed back. But I'm waiting to see how August 29th goes, basically. But if I do have to wait the whole 6 months, like I can't push the shop update back 6 months. Like there's a chance it's gonna have to happen without the Americans, which would really suck, but I'm gonna try to wait and see what happens, and then we can decide, because yeah, I can't just keep pushing back the shop updates that long. I have to have some kind of income, even if it's drastically reduced. And I'm not just trying to support myself. I've got Christian as well. He works for me completely. He has no other outside job. And so this is probably the biggest threat to face this whole operation. I'm trying not to stress too much about it. Like, I think about it, but I'm also like, you know what? let's just wait and see what actually ends up happening before I panic too much. Because everything's constantly changing, so it's hard to even plan for the future when you don't know if the US government's just going to change their mind the next day. I guess I need to make a thumbnail for the YouTube stream. But also, since I'm rendering a video right now, it's actually hard for me to use Photoshop while I'm exporting a video, so I'll have to fight with a laggy Photoshop to get this done. I'm going to go full lazy with this. Use an old face photo. Use the old background photo. This is so old, it's sitting at 20,000 in some orders. Yeah, we're in the 28,000s now. That's how old that picture is in the thumbnail. Woo! Less than 4 minutes left. Well, it's now just past 4 o'clock. I will let some of the stream footage play in the background while I chat with you about the stream. So it went longer than I thought because there were more orders to pack than I thought. There was a pretty big influx on Friday, and there were quite a few I could pack that didn't have any made-to-order stuff in it, so I ended up packing 37 orders. Thank you so much for those. And it made me realize, like just seeing how much is left, that I can't close the shop for US on Thursday. I need to close it essentially right away because we have enough made-to-order stuff to last us until Thursday. I might even have to book a Friday pickup. So in the morning, I'm going to turn off US shipping, and that'll be it. Because if it was like non-sweatshirt stuff, I could pack it last minute, but like we can't risk falling behind on the made-to-order. I need that stuff out this week. So yeah, by the time you're watching this, it's already going to be off, but just explaining my thought process to you. And then fingers crossed something changes, or maybe tariffs get put off for a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully we can have US shipping back in some capacity before the next shop update. But it'll stay open for Canada and international. So there's that. I might have to cancel my order pickup schedule of Mondays and Thursdays because I don't know if I'm going to have enough orders coming in for that. I might have to just send them out once a week. We'll see. We'll see what the order volume is like. Now it's so late. I'm like, now I can work on Gazebo Cats. Alternatively, I just work on it tomorrow and then I put the footage in. That's what I can do. Because it's like, oh my god, it's almost supper. Do I want to start this now? Like, I don't sit down to work on an illustration for only 1 hour, okay? It's usually a big block of time. Because I get in the zone and I just want to stay in the zone. Yeah, Minoosh. That's probably what I'll do. I'm currently filling out my to-do list for the week, and I was thinking about Wednesday, and I thought, okay, I can make the B grade mystery bundle packs for the prints. So it only has prints in it, and I was like, oh, I need a printer for that, because I've been debating buying another printer for a long time now, just for printing like photo type items such as packaging. And this is one of those times I need it, and I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna buy it now, so hopefully I have it in time for Wednesday. I should. It says it's gonna be delivered tomorrow. I'm looking at the Epson Eco Tank 2800. There's so many models of Eco Tanks. I'm like, what? I'm picking this one because it's only $250, and it has pretty good reviews. Because I've got my brother laser printer, but it sucks at anything color. So I use it for documents, but I'm gonna get a separate one now for other stuff, like I said. Like, I make these homemade scorecards. Well, they're notepads that I glue. I make homemade scorecard notepads for playing card games, and I need to make more. And there are just so many times where I wish I had a little bit of packaging, or if I just quickly want to make my own stickers. Like, I have a Cricut. I can't make stickers with it because I have no printer to print with. So I'm going to buy this little thing, and I can use my sticker paper to make labels for the mystery packs. I don't know if I'll use my Cricut or not. We'll see what I end up designing, but it might just be like a square or rectangular thing that I can just cut with a guillotine. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. It's $250. When you look at all the expenses of the business, that's pretty minor. So I don't know why I've been delaying this for so long. Like, just buy it. During the live stream, I was telling Christian about my 9 to 5 idea, and he was like, I'll believe it when I see it. What if it's physically impossible for me to get all my work done during that time? Although I wrote make vlog thumbnail for tomorrow, I'm going to do it right now. We got a bit of time. Let's just do it. I had to squeeze in at the top, drop off donation stuff. I've got the car full. I just need to go drop it off. And then I also need to stop by the registry office for my annual filing for Alberta business stuff. And there it is. Christian made ramen for supper. I liked it. And no, I'm not working after supper. I just came down here for a flossy stick and use the toilet. It's now the next morning. I've been editing. It's my admin kind of day, art and admin sort of stuff. So usually I don't necessarily film today, but it's a great backup filming day if I don't get enough the day before. And of course, if I'm working on art, I'm going to be filming it to put in the vlog as I'm doing today. So my donation drop off, first of all, I roped Christian into doing it because I was going to leave and he's like, oh, but I need the car for my appointment. And I was like, oh, well, do you want to do the drop off then? So I don't have to do that now. I've had the stuff loaded in the car since Thursday. So I've been putting that off. But I do still need to head out to the registry to file this paperwork, which I have to do in person. Stupid. It's just the annual return for the business with the province. And so it just lists the name and address of the business and then the name and addresses of the shareholders. And you have to file it every year. And so it says, has any of this information changed? I click the box that says nope. And then I sign it and I hand it in and they're like, great, that'll be $90. And then I pay the $90. It's just one of those annoying expenses. Like, sure, $90 is a drop in the bucket for the business expenses, but it's just painful because it feels useless. And yeah, you saw that little clip last night. I was playing Night Rain. I beat a big baddie. I beat the Everdark Libra. It's definitely the hardest boss they've put in the game yet, because they'll have their list of bosses, then there are limited time events where they have a harder version of the boss, and this one I just haven't been able to beat. I spent all day last Friday trying to beat this thing on stream, and then I sat down last night and I did it. Okay, now I'm going to stop talking because this vlog's been a lot of talking head. Anything else I have to say, I'll include it as voiceover over the art segment. So, gazebo cats. I'm going to talk about something else first, but I just wanted to mention what I'm doing here at the start is I'm using my colorless blender to blend out the streaks in the background sky a little bit because I wanted to work on the leaves of the trees, but didn't want it to smudge everywhere. And so I was like, let's blend this out first so I don't risk picking up dark ink and smearing it around. Anyway, what I want to talk about is we have a possible solution to the whole tariff fiasco. Woo woo! So I reached out to my Canada Post rep to see if they're working on a DDP solution, because DDP is when something's delivered with the duties paid. I send stuff currently DDU because that's the only option Canada Post has, which is the duties unpaid. So if there are any duties owed, the customer has to pay for it. And that has mainly just applied to my international customers because up until now, US and Canada haven't had to pay any kind of customs. Canada, obviously, Canadian orders will never owe any kind of customs or duty because that's where I'm from and that's where I'm shipping from. But yeah, now with the US stuff, it was all scary because the flat rate tariff thing. And I heard from some sources online in different forums of people saying that USPS is not going to be collecting duties and stuff has to cross the borders with the duty already paid, which kind of makes sense because they deal with so much mail. And if they have to suddenly start collecting duties, it's so much work for them. But I mean, I guess it's a work on Canada Post and to have to collect it ahead of time, but whatever. I digress. I just was hearing people saying that they're going to start refusing any packages that don't have the duties prepaid. And I was like, oh my gosh, Canada Post does not do DDP. So like, what am I going to do? And I was like, wait, let me just ask my Canada Post rep. I have a commercial account with them. I can ask my guy if they're working on something like that. And so I asked, and it turns out, yes, they are working on something like that, because that way duties actually get calculated instead of the flat fee, and also customers can see it at checkout instead of getting a surprise bill later. So that is so exciting. And they said they're hoping to have it in effect by August 29th. So that would mean my shop is not closed down to the Americans for too long. So, oh, that would be great. I'm just hoping it all works out seamlessly on the back end because I was looking into how Shopify charges it at checkout, and there's some third party they use, and I enabled it for the US, but it doesn't show me like how the calculation is done because it depends on so many factors like country of origin, what the HS code is of the product. So time will tell as to how that looks at checkout, and I'm hoping that what they charge the customer matches what I have to pay Canada Post. So like, there could still be some hiccups involved in this, but it looks like that is going to be an option. And then I also asked if that would apply to international shipments, like, because, my international customers, they pay duties upon delivery. And like it depends on the country because sometimes there's a threshold you can order up to this amount and not have to pay duties, like the whole de minimis thing. Different countries have different de minimis values. So if you order under a certain dollar amount, you don't pay customs. For some countries, they have to pay it on every single order. So, it varies. But I was like, so is that going to be a thing for international? And they said they don't know. They don't know. It's kind of like a wait and see how it goes with the US and then see if it's something they're going to implement internationally or not. So as of now, I still won't be charging duties at checkout internationally, but for US, it's looking like that's going to be a thing. Fingers crossed it all works out because that would solve a lot of my headaches. It still probably means I'm going to get fewer orders because I'm sure there are some Americans who are not going to be willing to pay any kind of duties whatsoever. Or maybe people will just order less frequently because usually there's like the calculated duties as a percentage of your order, but then there's also a brokerage fee, which is a flat rate fee that USPS charges basically just as like their fee for handling the paperwork. And I think right now their brokerage fees are 10 US dollars. So I don't know how that's going to be charged on my end. Like, is there going to be some kind of a markup? Will it be more than 10 US dollars? I don't know. So sometimes people wait till they have like a bigger order they want to place, and then they're only paying that brokerage fee once. Assuming it's a flat fee, sometimes like US or UPS, they increase the brokerage fees if the value of your order is higher, which is so stupid. Like, why? Why is it based off value of order? Like, it's not like it's extra paperwork just because the item is more expensive. I don't know. I'm trying to avoid UPS at all costs if I can throughout this. So, woo! Hopefully this solution works, and I have high hopes, and I'm excited and less stressed out. This is also why I didn't want to freak out too much in advance. Like I was saying earlier in the vlog, like I'm sure something's going to happen. Like I don't want to panic and spiral and be like, this is the end of my business. But yeah. Anyway, good news on that front. Now, for the kitty artwork, I was working more on leaves and stuff because I had colored a little bit of the leaves previously, and I was going in and just finishing all the tree leaves at the top. And so I filmed, like you saw the footage from the left-hand side. I didn't bother including the footage from the right-hand side because it's just more of the same, coloring leaves. But those are done, and added a little bit extra color to the background leaves, which made me realize those bushes I have on the sides, they're too pale, which I thought maybe they were, but I was like, let's color everything else in and then I can darken them. I don't want to like make something too dark because with Copics, you can always add darker colors. It's really hard to try to lighten a color without it just looking sloppy, and there's also limits to how much you can lighten it. So I will have to tweak those bushes. And then this foreground bush, it's looking amazing. I'm loving it. I felt like I was really confident for both the tree leaves and this bush because I've kind of done it before with Forest Cuddles. It wasn't identical, but it was similar. And so I knew what kinds of colors I wanted to use, and I could just hop in and go at it. And it was great. It was more relaxing. I was less stressed out. And now these sections are not totally done because they do still need some pencil outlines. I do want to keep the outlines subtle, but I will be defining the edges of things a little bit with pencil, which I haven't done yet because I'm probably going to do that dead last. At least for like this foreground bush, my hand is going to smudge that. It's the bottom of the page and it's on the left. I'm left-handed. Like the pencil is just going to smear a little bit. So let's wait till I have more of it colored before we do too many of the outlines. The trees at the top I probably could do at this point, but we'll see. And then the flowers, they're looking a little bit red. They're meant to be more magenta, but I added some yellow on them, and yellow and magenta make red. because magenta's the true primary, not red. Yellow, magenta, they make red. I feel like they look a little more red on camera than in real life. Either way, I love it. I think it's so cute. And this is just looking so good so far. The colors are popping, and I'm going to work on it more on the weekend. So expect to see updates in next Friday's vlog. And that is the end of this vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. She looks on fire. Freaky eyeball too. Looks like she has a tiny pupil. Why? These are not even B grades. That's just going right into the recycling pile. Now down here we've got dot, dot.